The easy availability of OTT or video on demand on our television sets and the dramatic growth of the sector in India has led many to believe that the days of going to cinema halls in the country may be coming to an end. It really depends though on who you ask. But yes, the growth of OTT platforms and the size of the segment in India has been stratospheric. Consolidation of companies which have brought us cinemas and theatres, namely the PVR Inox group, now means that several old screens will be shut down, but also new ones will be open. But it's the quarterly numbers of PVR Inox, the merged entity, that is a cause of concern. The multiplex chain has reported a loss of 333 crores. Why exactly is that happening now? Joining us, I spoke in fact earlier today to Ajay Bijli, the MD of PVR Inox, a maverick in this industry. Joining us now, Ajay Bijli, the MD of PVR Inox, a maverick in this industry. Thanks very much, Mr. Bijli, for being with us. I confess right on my immediate bias. I prefer going to a theatre any day. So much for unbiased journalism. But be that as it may, why is it that you've had this huge 333 crore first quarter loss?
It's the fourth quarter, Vishnu. First of all, please call me Ajay.
Right.
Well, it's the fourth quarter of last year, and it was a very volatile year. It's only been about 12 months since the pandemic, and pandemic really had us completely on the ground. As you know, it was a body blow, a coup de grace, which the industry had never experienced before. So it took time for everybody. So India has always been, the demand side and the supply side have been the best in the world. We make the highest number of movies and we have the highest visitations to the cinemas. But this black swan event really impacted both the supply side and the demand side. So it's like if somebody gets a severe injury, it takes time for him to recoup. So last year has been of that, but this year is looking very good. We've started the year April, May, June on some good movies. There's a good momentum even in July, August. So this loss is attributable to the volatility that we experienced last year. And it was a very strange year, Vishnu. What we had is either the peaks were very, very high. So you had like RRR, KGF, Avatar 2 and Pathan, which performed even better than anything ever did pre-COVID, barring Bahubali 2, which was an aberration. But if you take Bahubali 2 out of the equation, all movies have performed better than ever in every category. But then the peaks, the valleys were very low as well. So if a movie did not connect with the consumer, the dip was very low. So therefore, that equilibrium that we used to get pre-COVID did not come in the first 12 months. But now we are seeing that it's a momentum business. Every week some movie comes out, 2 or 3, 4 films come out. People see the trailers and they come out. So I think we are back on track now. This loss also is because of some extraordinary expenditures which were merger related. So merger related expenditures, there are a lot of accounting rules and there are one-off expenditures. If my CFO was on this call as well, he would have probably explained it better, which are there, impairment charges. That's one expenditure which has brought the loss very high. Second is that we shut down about 50 odd cinemas. Yes. And we shut them down simply because the life of those cinemas was over. So a lot of our cinemas are in malls. So if malls themselves start closing down and they become less attractive, then there is no point carrying on with the leases, because we are all leased properties and the leases also come to a life cycle end. So
but Ajay, how many people have ended up losing their jobs as a result of these 50 screens being shut down?
Well, first of all, let's talk about the number of jobs that we create every year. 200 screens we add. So but they won't lose their job, they'll get adjusted to the new properties. Because if you go deep into it, for example, Lucknow, we've got almost 80 screens now, but there were some very old properties which were just completely getting decrepit. And also sometimes there's an alternative use for the developer. He can do something else on that property. So we can't really force them to extend the lease as well. But none of these guys are going to lose their jobs. There's plenty of growth happening.
That's important, and that's good news, because in this market, you are going to absorb them in another part of your enterprise. But I think it's also interesting that you're setting up to 175 additional screens.
That's
why would you do this at a time when let's face it, OTT is a rage and, it is doing phenomenally well.
So OTT, I think the conversation about OTT has also gone over the top now, because that is one form of content consumption, which the avatar has changed. So it was TV, then it became LDs and DVDs and VHS. Maybe I'm not saying it in the right order. Then satellite became very big, and now OTT has come. But long form storytelling is what is very popular in OTT, not movies. And we are all about movies. So during the pandemic, of course, the windows, which is the gap between the theatrical release and the OTT release, collapsed because we were shut. So therefore, certain movies went to the OTT platforms. But now if you look at it, all the shows that all of us watch, even I'm a big fan of some of the TV shows that come, some brilliant one I was watching last night. I'm forgetting the name of Sonakshi Sinha's program. But basically, long form entertainment is what people watch at home, where 13 episodes, season 1, season 2, they get unfolded and we all love it. But when you want a quick fix and you want something experiential out of home, then they go and watch movies. So this is the way it was happening pre-pandemic, and this is the way it's going to happen post-pandemic as well. And so the same consumer, you and I, we have different habits. We can put our feet up and watch something at home, and at the same time, on the weekend when our discretionary time is more, we can go out and watch movies. And that's always been the trend, and that's always been something that's been going on for a long time, and it's coming back again. So this week, for example, we had Guardians of the Galaxy, Fast and the Furious is coming next week. Then we have Adi Purush, we have Flash, we have another big movie coming, I'm forgetting. It's just crossing, Transformers, lots of films are coming. Jawan is coming. Kerala Story was a big sleeper hit. That's done very well, already touched about 150 odd crores. So people are coming out. And at the same time, OTT platforms are doing well. So both have always coexisted, and they'll continue to coexist. It's not an either or discussion, a binary discussion at all.
So you wouldn't agree with the argument that the cost of a ticket to see a movie in a multiplex is more than the cost of what many subscribers would pay for an OTT platform all year? And
no,
therefore that would be less attractive.
No, the cost is definitely more because the experience, there's a lot of infrastructure behind showing a movies on the big screen.
Sure.
And so that's what, but fortunately, we got 141 million people visited our cinemas last year, and our average ticket was 220 rupees. So that's our ATP. So a lot of people who live in urban cities, they go to maybe Director's Cut in Vasant Kunj, or they'll go to DLF Promenade, or they'll go to Juhu or Koramangala in Bangalore. So they take that as the average ticket price. That's not the average ticket price. So our India is a very disparate market, and our circuit is very disparate. So our ticket prices range from anything from 100 rupees to as high as 2000 rupees, because we want to get everybody out of their homes, even those who've got their home theaters at home. So, but if you take the average ATP of PVR Inox put together, it's about little over $200.
Are you decisively out of COVID, and which hit your industry terribly?
Look, to be honest with you, airlines, hospitality and cinemas are the three sectors that got impacted the most. We have taken the longest to recover. There's no question about it. So it's taking longer than the other sectors. But as I said, this particular year, after the last quarter, has started very well. And even last year, some of the things have completely made us feel very optimistic, because there's no reason why these movies would have reached sky high figures if people did not have the appetite to come out and watch movies, because they were tired of being at home. And it's a very natural thing for Indian consumers, at least, to go out and watch movies. And that's what I find the Indian market very, very exciting, because both the supply side and the demand side is very strong.
You are banking obviously on the success of films and big releases. And you are confident that, let's talk about Bollywood, that and even our southern film industry, this year, 2023, you've got enough to bank on to be profitable by the time we speak this time next year?
Absolutely. I'm confident because, some incredible scripts are being written. The supply side producers haven't seen these kind of results ever. So when they release a movie on OTT, it's cost plus.
Yes.
So there's a cap to how much they can earn. But when it comes to theatrical release, if the movie connects with the audiences, there is no cap. It can go to any level. So for economic reasons as well, the supply side, which is the film fraternity, is very excited to bring the movies back onto the big screen. And I'm also not just banking on mega blockbusters. I gave you the example of lot of these Ayushman Khurrana movies that used to come pre-COVID. There's a huge lineup of these smaller movies as well. And small movies are not defined by the budget. Small movies are defined by how they do at the box office. Right. So these sleeper hits are the ones which used to really get us excited. And I see a huge lineup of the sleeper hits as well this time. Smaller movies which will connect with the consumer.
What about footfalls inside multiplexes? Can you share some trends with us this year?
Well, last year has not been, Vishnu, very good. As I said, pre-COVID, combined entity did about 180 million people, 18 crores, but we did about 14 crores in this particular year. So there has been a shortfall. But now, April onwards, we're looking at almost a crore this month, a crore and 30 in May, a crore and 40. So which is very healthy. So we're looking on track to get about 18 crore roughly, or 180 million people this year.
All right, Ajay, it's been wonderful speaking to you. Thank you so much. And let's hope that, people get back in the volumes that you all seek. There is nothing that really replaces the movie-going experience. Thank you very much indeed for being with us.
Thanks very much. Thank you.